My friends, I had a crazy busy day yesterday. Sometimes I amaze myself how much I get done in a day, and that's with a 2-hour lunch hour. I'll tell you all about it right after this. Hello my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks workshop. It is Wednesday, January 4th. We had our jam at Dickey's Barbecue last night and it turned out really nice. Didn't have a very big attendance, but those that were there seemed to enjoy it. They made a lot of real nice comments and threw a few dollars in the tip case. So we had a good time. My brother Scott was there, but he was a non-participant. He kind of sat in the background. But in his defense, he had broke a string on his guitar and didn't have a replacement, and he was playing a classical, so we didn't have any way to help him either. I told you I had a busy day yesterday, so in addition to that jam being part of that day, I got this much done on the guitar. So it's been sitting overnight, and I'll be taking the clamps off in a little while on video that you'll be able to see the full video down the road. Well, after I got that done, got it this far and clamped up, well, then I took my 2-hour lunch hour like I usually do. And then I went out in 1 hour, and I'm talking hour including the travel time up to the place and back. I cut probably 3 trailer loads of wood. It was cutting good yesterday. I had my chains freshly sharpened, and on one chain I probably cut at least 3 trailer loads of wood. It might even be 4, but I haven't hauled it yet. But I'm gonna have to haul it today because I put the last of the previous wood in the furnace this morning. It's kind of always just as needed firewood. That's the way I do it. But then, after I got that done, I took a quick shower, and I still had about 45 minutes before we had to leave to go to the jam. So I thought, well, I'm going to go back there and metal detect since it's such a nice warm day. And I think I've tied the farm into the Civil War almost certainly now. I found this. And you might go, well, what in the heck is that? Well, it's it's difficult to say the caliber for sure, but it's bigger than 50 caliber for sure. So I'm going to say it's a 69 caliber mini ball. It's a deep socket type or a deep well mini ball. And what they had a lot of times on these kinds of things, the way I understand it, is they had like a paper sleeve filled with powder. They'd pull the paper sleeve off, dump the powder down the barrel, drop this in, tamp it down, and it just made loading quicker or faster. But this sucker is heavy. It's a big old heavy ball. You can understand now, if you see this ball and feel how heavy it is, why they pretty much had to amputate anything this hit. You know, if it hits you in the arm, you're going to lose your arm. If it hits you in the leg, you're losing your leg. So it was a gruesome war, and but this pretty much ties it in. Now, I was telling the story about finding this at the jam last night, and one of the customers in the restaurant said, hey, I'm really big into that stuff. I says, I've got several of those bullets. Can I take a look at it? And he sure looked at it, and he goes, that's exactly what that is. He says, it is definitely a Civil War bullet. So, whether he knew or not for sure, I pretty much had already suspected that, but I think we've got it tied in. Now, if you couple that with the brass shell I found, which was supposedly made 1864 to 1865, and then you tie in all the lead balls I found that look like they're probably that old, I think there definitely could have been some skirmish thing going on here on the farm. It's very possible. And, I can't even guarantee that this was fired during the Civil War. It could easily be a Civil War bullet that was fired 10 years later, for all I know. But anyway, it's still pretty cool to find it. My brother Scott's making good progress on his guitar. He's got the body pretty much completed now. And he's going to move on to the binding work, I'm sure, real soon. He's got his neck roughed out. He's making more of a classical style neck, I guess you'd say,
just a little wider.
Just a little wider,
stiff.
And right now it's pretty darn wide. I'm sure he's going to narrow it down from that. But anyway, he's carving it. This someone made the comment how splintery this wood is in the comments yesterday, and you are correct. This stuff here, you can just look at it and get splinters.
It's like a cactus.
He says it's like a cactus. Yeah, it's very, very splintery wood. It's probably the most splintery wood I've ever been around. You can barely pick it up without getting a splinter. But once you get it stained and finished, it doesn't matter anymore. But he did build one other guitar for his son out of that same wood, and it turned out real nice. I also want to say a big thank you to Aletha Chris. She sent us a nice Christmas card, and she sent a nice donation also for the twins, Patrick and Abigail. We'll be sure to send this along to their family. So thank you very much for that donation. We really do appreciate it. Well, that's about all I have for today. I'll give you another update tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed yet, well, shame on you. You better get that done. We'll see you tomorrow.